Hi Pisces, welcome to Ashrina's Tarot. I went ahead and pre-shuffled and laid out the spread, and what's coming through is actually really important. This is an energy that a lot of people don't understand how it works, and the reason I'm gonna spend some time on this energy, and the reason why is because a lot of people that have been in lack or scarcity, it's a cycle that perpetuates for generations, okay, for lifetimes, okay. It can get passed down through the family, it can get passed down through mindset, through like literal like lack of like not having money, or you know, sometimes not even being able to pay certain bills, or things like that. Like, this is an energy that a lot of people recognize, okay. And lack is not a certain number in your bank account, okay. So this is actually something that's really interesting, because to you lack might be one thing, it might be a certain number, and you might think that prosperity is a certain number, right? But the energy of lack is everywhere, okay. Like, it's everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter what number is in your bank account. If you feel lack or if you feel scarcity, that energy is going to be there no matter what number is in your bank account. And so bear with me, because it's leading somewhere. And so again, for the ones that resonate with this reading, take the things that uplift you, take the things that help you from this reading, okay. If this is not your reading, don't make it fit. All right, there's a lot of readers out there, and everybody's on different timelines, okay. So if you resonated with the title, if you resonated with the energy, there may be something in here for you. But the thing that you want to do, like, as an individual, is invest into the things that serve you, okay. No matter what it is, no matter if it's a certain habit that you have, or a certain practice that you have. Maybe you go to a certain place for upliftment, whether this is your community, I don't know, some of you may go to church, you know, whatever it is that uplifts you, whatever that it is that recharges your energy and balances you out, invest into those things, okay? The things that don't fit, don't even bother to engage with them, okay? If it doesn't fit, oh, it doesn't fit, okay? Just gonna retract my energy, and that's it. You save your energy, because if you choose to kind of like, I don't know, send in any kind of negative energy because it doesn't apply to you, what happens there is you create an energetic connection, all right? And so you get more of that. It's just like universal language, okay? So if there's something in your life, like, you know how before something snowballs, it becomes one little thing trickles into another, then into another, and that's usually how, like, people have a bad day. It's like one little thing happens and you're like, okay, this probably is a bad day, and then that thing leads to another, to another, to another, and it just begins to confirm your statement. And so that's how the universe works. So if at any time, if at any moment there's something that doesn't feel right, or is, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like scrubbing you the wrong way, or you know, anything along those lines, the best thing is just immediately retract your energy and just invest into the things that make you feel good. Does that make sense? Sometimes if there's a trigger and you're like, okay, I gotta work through this, there's something in here for me, then stick it through. But if you're like, okay, this isn't for me, retract your energy and invest it into something that is for you. Invest it into something that is going to give back, because again, Six of Pentacles is reciprocity, okay? This is getting back what you put out, okay? So if you're putting out negativity out there, or you're investing into something that is not uplifting you, or that it does not resonate with you, you're gonna get more of that back, because the universe is very neutral, okay? For the universe, there's no such thing as good or bad. That's relative, okay? There's positive, there's negative, period. That's it. You send something negative out, you'll get a lot of that back. You send something positive out, you'll get a lot of that back. So there's actually a trick here, and something that was channeled, and Spirit was showing me the image of this. And I want to go ahead and spend some time on this energy here, because this is big for a lot of people in the collective right here, right now. A lot of people in the collective feel that what they're investing into projects, into people, into relationships, into the world, they're not getting it back, okay? This is really big in the collective, okay? I've done a lot of personal readings. I also read in person in my community, and so this is something really big, okay? Where a lot of people feel like they're sending in all their manifestations, they're doing all the right things, they're journaling, they're visualizing, they're putting in the work, they're setting themselves up for success, they're conjuring up the right energies, because right now is harvest season. So a lot of people have already started to see a lot of this coming back, but they're still investing more. So they want to get the full return. They want to get the full investment plus interest. And so what I've been noticing is a lot of people don't feel like they're getting back what they're investing. And again, this can be in a project, in work, in relationships, in connections, in just life, you know? And so there's actually something that Spirit channeled very specifically with this energy. And so I want to spend some time in this. But yes, invest your energy into the things that give back to you, okay? And this is the key, this is the secret. All right, even if you're doing it intentionally, it doesn't matter because it's still universal law. So you know when you give something like out of kindness and it comes back to you, maybe not in the way that you expected, maybe not at the time that you expected, but you're building the good karma. All right, you're building the good karma, and it's the laws of the universe, it's the laws of karma. Okay, again, karma, whether good or bad, is like relative, right? It's like positive or negative. All right, you're just sowing seeds. Okay, so that's just how the universe views it. Universe is very neutral, okay? If you say, I hate this, and you focus on it, you're gonna get some more of that, all right? Because universe is not like, oh, she doesn't like that. No, it's like you're investing energy into that, therefore there's gonna be more of a return, right? If you plant apple seeds and you expect, I don't know, oranges, you're gonna get apples, you know? So yeah, so I mean, that's kind of like the best example I could come up with, but anything that you invest your energy to, all right, you're gonna get more of that. And if you send something not so positive out that way, you're gonna get a little bit more of that, just reflected in your daily life. And so that's the key though. That's the key, because if you want the positive, you claim it, all right? You invest more positivity, even if you're consciously doing this because you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna get this back. You know, again, I mean, I wouldn't think so much that way. I would just think, okay, I'm investing into things that I want and therefore I'm claiming them, okay? But I mean, it works either way, okay? It works either way. If you're giving money out of the kindness of your heart, like let's say to a homeless person or to, I don't know, like a charity that you believe in, or to your church or to your community or to the people that are uplifting you or anything like that, it's like you have physically invested into something that has given you a return. Does that make sense? So then you quantify that. That comes back 10x because you're investing into it. But if you're in the energy of scarcity, of lack, like the Five of Pentacles, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna put anything from what I have, right? Like the cards that are being shown to me are the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. This is the Six. This is overcoming the Four and the Five of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is holding on so strongly to what you already have for fear of loss, all right? The Five of Pentacles is not seeing what you have. It's complete lack and scarcity. Again, lack and scarcity is not a number on your bank account, right? What happens is oftentimes, like for you, it might be one number. For somebody else, it might be another. For you, you might think, oh, that person has so many properties, or that person has all these cars and all these, I don't know, all these things, right? And so if I were that person, I would consider myself rich. But you have no idea how many more bills that person has, right? Their income might be more, but also their lifestyle is costing them more. So they're still living paycheck to paycheck in a sense, right? Maybe not as restricted or maybe not as tight, but let's say that person has to pay for a yacht every single month, or has to pay for all the cars that they have and all the car insurances and all the houses, all the properties. Each one of them has bills, right? So if you're like, okay, that person has 6 houses or 10 cars or whatever, their bills and their lifestyle goes up with that too. Does that make sense? So that sense of like still wanting more, or feeling the scarcity or the lack, or still wanting to make more money is always still there. That's why they say never to chase the specific number. That's why like abundance is more so a feeling. Prosperity is more so a feeling of thinking, oh, you know what? Whatever goes out comes back times 10. And this is something that I do, like whenever I'm paying for something, I'm like, every dollar I spend comes back times 10. Every dollar I spend comes back times 10. Every dollar I spend comes back times 10. And I just reaffirm that, okay? Because these are little affirmations that we're investing energy to create a new habit, right? And so, again, the reason this is coming back and I'm spending so much time on this card is because Spirit was showing me, like through the readings I've been doing, through the energy that has been collective at this time, it's like a lot of people feel like they've invested into things that they're not necessarily getting back at this time the way that they invested. Does that make sense? Whether they're investing into helping others, whether they're investing into a relationship, into a job to get a promotion, whatever that is for you, there has to be an equal balance, an equal return, an equal reciprocity, or else the balance is lost, all right? And so you're giving and not getting anything back. That's unbalanced. Or you're taking and not giving anything back, right? If you're taking energy from people and you're like, oh, this uplifted me, or you know what, like, you know, it's like when they're giving free things out, like, I don't know, like, I don't know who gives free things out, but let's say that there's some kind of event and they're giving free things out. It's like, if you pass that on, it comes back tenfold for you, okay? Because you invested energy to that. So let's say somebody smiles at you and then you open the door for somebody else, and then it's like somebody like pays that back. It becomes like a ripple effect, right? Someone smiles at you, you open the door for somebody else, that person opens the door for somebody else, they smile at some other person, and it's like that energy is getting transferred. That energy is getting passed on. And so because you started that or somebody else started that, it's like it's a ripple effect of every act of kindness coming back to you. All right, so this is something that a lot of people don't fully understand, because people think, oh, okay, you know, if I don't see it right here, right now, or if I don't see it in the way that I want to see it or the way that I expected, it means that it didn't come back, right? And so that's where we don't block ourselves in that regard. We become very open and very receptive to the way that this energy is going to come back for us, like a boomerang, basically. So as you can see here, it's the number 8. Right? The infinity sign. What we give, we get back. What we give, we get back. The energy we put out, we extract back the manifestation of it. And again, it might look very different. It might look like an opportunity. It might look like money. It might look like somebody else offering some kind of resource, or somebody else investing positive energy into us that then leads to the energy to, I don't know, create something. So it's like energy. It gets paid in energy, it gets paid in money, it gets paid in so many different ways that you don't close your avenues, okay? And so yeah, so it's a really interesting energy to tap into, because a lot of people that I've read for are in the 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles energy. Some people are holding on so strongly to what they have because they lost so much that they're like, okay, I'm not going to pay back, or I'm not going to invest what I have. I'm just going to hold on to it. Again, what does that create? Money is energy. It has to come in, it has to go out, but it has to stay in a constant flow. Whether you're investing into something, whether you're giving, right, in order to receive. That's the secret. A lot of people that do charity work, a lot of like, why do you think rich people get to write it off in their taxes? All right, because would they rather pay taxes and give it to a state, or would they rather invest it in a charity and know that it's going to come back times 10, right? Because now they're investing energy into that charity. Whatever that charity does, it creates a ripple effect and it comes back to them. So you'll see that a lot of rich people, instead of paying taxes, they do charity work. And why do you think that's allowed? Because either way, it's going back into society. Does that make sense? And so now they didn't just give it in taxes. Now they invested it into a cause they believe in. Now it's creating a ripple effect and helping so many more people, touching so many more lives. And that's why the rich get richer, okay? It's not that, oh, they find it out of the kindness of their heart. Like some people do, like literally out of the kindness of their heart. Some of them are just like, let me just write this off in my taxes. Whatever it is, they're investing energy to it. That's why the rich get richer. Okay, and so it is an energetic game. Okay, it is an energetic game, and if you learn how to play it, it all comes back to you. Okay, so whether it's opening the door to somebody, or smiling at somebody, or being kind to somebody, letting them go in front of you, I don't know, letting somebody, you know, like the thing is, like, these things can be very intentional. It doesn't mean that you're always in that kind state of mind. It's like sometimes you gotta force it a little bit, you know. You just force it a little bit. So for example, for me, you know, whenever I drive like in the city, like people tend to cut off, people tend to be very rude. And so what I do is I just will let somebody go in front of me if I have the chance, right? They'll look at me, they'll wave, they'll smile, and right there I just started the momentum, okay? And I'm doing this consciously and intentionally, right? And then I go to the store, I open the door for somebody, or I smile at somebody, and then that energy continues to snowball. And then somebody does something kind for me, and then it becomes a glow where people just like meet my gaze and they smile at me, and like people are kind, people walk up and say compliments, and you just literally like intentionally create that momentum, right? And then things start to happen, right? Opportunities, people come and ask you something, people come and give you something. Like I've had a lot of crazy things happen to where somebody like pays for my food, like randomly, because we pay that back, right? And sometimes I do this intentionally, not just because out of the kindness of my heart, but because I've seen the results that it gives me. So whatever it is that you're investing your energy to, do it very consciously, all right? If you are investing it into negativity, right? whether this is like a, I don't know, like a negative remark, or some kind of like, I don't know, like trying to get smart with somebody, trying to be right? Like, does it benefit you to be right, or would you rather feel good? Right? A lot of people would rather make a point and be right and make others feel bad, or like call them out on something. But again, that comes back to you too. So yeah, so it's like I'd rather feel good than be right. You know what I mean? So I do this very intentionally, and what I'm saying here is that you start building this energy intentionally. Even if you're thinking, oh, it's gonna come back to me, you know, like, yes, it will come back to you, but also like, you feel good in the process. Feel good in the process, and you'll see this energy come back to you. Because again, I've been seeing this energy a lot in readings and in the collective. 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, all right? Holding on too strongly to what you have, and then that mindset of lack and scarcity. Because lack and scarcity is not a number on the bank account. It's just an energy that comes with you everywhere you go, no matter how much you get. If you're feeling like you're gonna lose it, or you're feeling like it's not enough, then that's what you're gonna create more of. So it's like, what do you invest your energy to? And again, it's your energy. So it doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. The universe is neutral, okay? Universe doesn't see good or bad, okay? Universe just sees actions and deposits, all right? So what are you depositing your energy to? And even if you're doing it intentionally, all right? Like leaving positive comments, or making a compliment towards somebody, or leaving a positive remark, even if you're doing it intentionally, all right? That's energy. If you do it like, okay, be intentional about it, but also be genuine, so that the good energy can be felt, and that creates the snowball process. All right, so energy works. Anybody who learns how to manipulate energy, and this is being an alchemist, this is being a magician, you're going to start seeing this back tangibly, all right? And I've proved this many times in my life, and so there's a need to spend so much time on this card right here, right now, because this is how it can unfold. But again, there are many timelines. So if you get this message and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but you don't take the actions, you don't start making the deposits, or you don't become conscious into what you're investing your energy to, then your energy reserves are going to go towards that. You only have a certain amount of energy and hours every single day. So what do you invest that to? Is it positive? Is it negative? Does it make you feel good? Are you trying to be right, or are you trying to feel good, right? Whatever that is, you're gonna deposit that energy, and you're gonna get a return for it. Okay, whether positive or negative, it's relative. It's neutral to the universe. So there's one thing that I have to read out of the book for this specific 6 of Pentacles. It's so important for the people that resonate. Okay, so yes, two-way abundance, giving and receiving, being charitable, a positive and generous mindset, advancement, awakening, inflow, help coming from others. Being open to give to others and to receive from others are states that we all must cultivate. This card asks you, do you experience these consciously? How does helping others make you feel? It feels good, right? Abundant, heart-centered. Gifting your time, money, or energy to someone else will open up the floodgates of new resources coming your way. Again, if we understand how energy works, we can do this intentionally. Even if we're thinking we're gonna get this back, but we still like genuinely give our time, our energy, our knowledge, our money, right? That comes back, all right? That comes back. So yeah, so let's see here. So be generous with everything you have learned, and remain conscious of the flow of abundance from the universe. Consider these sacred dualities, learning and teaching, receiving and giving, accepting and offering. Open your heart to this sacred balance of energy, and fill in gaps you have around scarcity and abundance. It will imbue your life with compassion and generosity, and usher in new states of prosperity. Donating your energetic resources to help others will be life-changing for those in need. Choose a cause that moves your soul, and watch your feelings of prosperity shift. I show gratitude for my life through generosity and compassion. This is very, very important, because if you hold on to it, if you hoard it, you get the entire opposite. You shift the dynamic, right? So in shadow, okay, if this would have come out reversed, I just feel the need to read it in shadow for the people who may not understand like how it can be a double-edged sword, like if it's positive or if it's negative, right? So one-way flow, right? So it's like you're either taking or you're either giving, and that causes the imbalance, right? So one-way flow of abundance, over giving or over receiving, hoarding or holding on to what you have, choosing not to help, being uncharitable, selfishness, ulterior motives, right? So even though you're doing this intentionally, like, okay, I'm gonna give this, or I'm gonna invest my time here to get this in return, like even then when you're doing it genuinely, that still comes back to you. That's still a deposit. You know what I mean? So it's like if it's an ulterior motive and you have like this shady energy behind it, and then you make your deposit, you're going to get more of that back. But if you're like, okay, I understand how energy works, I'm going to invest this, I'm going to do it genuinely, that's still a deposit and it comes back to you in a good way. But if you have this shady energy about it when you do it, you're going to get some of that. You know what I mean? So that's the shadow side of the card. Again, that might only apply to some people out there that don't understand how energy works. That's why I feel the need to touch base on that. But inability to accept help can also be another one. So one experience that universe is showing to me is, I remember being a little kid and my grandparents giving us money for like Sunday school or for like church at the time. You know, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but at the time I did grow up in a religious household. But anyways, I remember my grandparents would give us money. And so we would go to church and they would pass the offering. And so I'd be like, okay, nobody knows, nobody's looking. And so I like slip it in, I would just keep it in my pocket and I go buy candy after church. And so again, this was the mentality of being a little kid of like, nobody saw that, nobody knows, my grandparents don't know, nobody's gonna know, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna just get candy with this. But that had to change. As I grew up, it wasn't about people knowing or not knowing whether I had the money for it or not. It's just simply that I gave, therefore I'm able to receive more. Does that make sense? So it's something that I didn't understand as a little girl, and it's something that I had to learn. Again, to receive, you must give. And to give, you must receive. So it's a sacred cycle of life. So if you're in the Four of Pentacles energy of like, oh, I don't have a whole lot, let me hold on to what I have, hoarding, that creates an energy blockage. It creates a dam in the energy, okay? Money flows, all right? Rich people are constantly spending and constantly getting it back because it's energy, right? So if you hoard it, guess what happens? Inflation, you lose most of it to inflation, then the energy is not flowing, therefore it creates some kind of a dam. And so yeah, it blocks you all places. So if you're like, I have very little, but let me go ahead and invest my energy at least. Let me go ahead and invest some positive energy. Let me give somebody a compliment. Let me open the door for somebody. Let me smile genuinely at somebody, you know, and uplift their day. Like that starts to come back, all right? All right, so yeah, it's a thing, you know. And then Five of Pentacles, scarcity, lack. You know, the little bit that I have, you know what? Why would I spend this? What if I don't have? What if I don't get any more? You know, so all that energy just snowballs in the opposite direction of what you want. So again, as a little girl, that's the example that, you know, Spirit was showing me. That's how I used to think. I'm just like, oh, my grandparents are gonna know. My parents are gonna know. The people at church are not gonna know that I didn't, you know, give my offering. I'm just gonna go buy me some candy. But it's like, and this is more like metaphoric, or like, you know, if I would have given that money at the time, and again, I'm not religious or anything, but I'm just like giving an example, you know, I would have received that in other ways, you know, maybe even in more abundance, you know, because I gave towards something, I was willing to let go to receive, you know what I mean? So it comes back times 10, it comes back tenfold. So anytime I spend, anytime I make a transaction, I always say every dollar I spend comes back times 10, right? And it starts to program your mind so that when you're spending, instead of cringing and looking at your wallet, you're like, you know what? Thank you, divine. Thank you, universe, that I even have the money or the abundance to pay for these bills. Thank you for the abundance that I have to pay for these groceries. And it has to become a habit, you know, of constantly thinking, because when you're spending, if you're in that energy of gratitude, guess what? It comes back. But if you're in that energy of cringing, like, oh my God, the little bit that I have, I'm putting it towards this, and what about my bills, and what about that? It just creates more of that energy. So it's just a snowball effect, okay? Just have that in mind, because what I'm seeing here unfold, and the advice in the final outcome card can only apply if you understand this part, for the ones who resonate. FYI. So, yeah, so 3 of Cups to the 10 of Pentacles. So this is actually really interesting, because there's going to be a really nice coming together, okay? Because for a long time, it was like, I'm giving energy, I'm investing into this, I've invested into this project, I invested into this, I gave this, you know, I've been doing all these acts of kindness, but the energy can also be scattered, all right? It's like you can invest into those things, you can put money for that, but if there is some negativity or some scarcity behind, it's like you start to create the momentum and you start to go in one direction, and then all of a sudden, there's like a negative thought or scarcity, or, you know, you feel into that energy of not having, and it's like it creates a diversion of energy. So it's like you send something good this way, and then all of a sudden there's some kind of like diversion. It's like this, and it shifts the energy, if it makes sense. It's just like it kind of like slows down the momentum. So there's a really nice coming together of understanding these ideas, understanding these concepts, and being able to unify them so that they're all working together and coming together. Again, this is a Three of Cups energy, so it also talks about reunions. But what I'm seeing here with the Ten of Pentacles coming out to clarify it, it's like it's coming back together in the form of money, in the form of prosperity, in the form of abundance. Ten of Pentacles. This is the abundance card, okay? Six of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, okay? This is something very tangible that you can touch, feel, and grab, okay? These are the deposits that you're making, okay? And the returns that you're getting from those deposits. So Ten of Pentacles, from the Three of Cups to Ten of Pentacles, look how much more abundance is in this card. How many more people are in this card? It's just like whatever you were investing, it's finally starting to come in together. You're finally starting to reel it in. And so there's one specific thing that I wanted to touch base on for the Ten of Pentacles. But yeah, it's a really beautiful card. Again, for the people who get it. It's like they start investing towards this. They start applying themselves towards this energy and understanding the energy dynamics. And they start to see returns. So spiritual material abundance, community, generosity, wealth, and prosperity, building a legacy. I am successful and I share my wealth with the ones I love. So yeah, so this is the abundance card, and it's everything coming back together to you. So it says here, expect the arrival of success, happiness, and an upbeat, loving community as avenues widen and the right connections click into place. Remember that perceptions change. You are one small move away from seeing the bigger picture, from unearthing a legacy of pentacles that is already yours. You deserve the success and love, taste the pleasure of life, and embody a state of consciousness that says, yes, I am worthy of all the success. So for some of you, it's like, it's a matter of worthiness. It's like you might be doing the work and you might be getting some of the positive reinforcement, but you still may not feel worthy of what you're giving. Does that make sense? It's like, you know you're talented, you know you're gifted, you know you're helping people. You know that your energy is creating a ripple effect out there, but you still might not feel fully worthy of it because you're starting to see some returns for some of the ones that are in this timeline. Again, this is something that has had to come a really long way to finally get here. And again, you know you're gifted. People have told you, you know, you have helped a lot of people, but there's still a sense of like feeling worthy of it all, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, if you don't feel worthy of it, it doesn't matter how much positive reinforcement or how many people tell you that you changed their lives or how much money you start getting your way. If you don't feel worthy of it, you're not going to feel it. It'll be there. You'll see it physically and your reality is starting to shift. But what good does it do you if you don't feel it? Does that make sense? It's like you want to feel that. You want to feel that you're worthy of the things that you have created. You want to feel that you're worthy of your gifts, of your abilities, of your talents, of what you put out into the world. It's like, you know it's helping people. You know you're good at what you do. You know you're gifted. You know you're talented. But do you feel worthy of it? Okay? So there's a lot of like worthiness coming in with the Ten of Pentacles. But again, Six of Pentacles to Ten of Pentacles. And then finally we're at the Hermit in the reverse. So you've been in solitude. You've been at the top of the mountain. And you've found what you needed, okay? So as you can see, she's in the middle of the darkness, right? And she's starting to glow this light from within herself. So it's like you found that within yourself, and now you're ready to come out of the hermit mode, okay? Again, I see reunions, okay? I don't know if this is because of the holidays. I don't know what this is, but I see a lot of people. Three of Cups also. It's like reunions with people. I see a lot of people here. So you're either getting together with people, you're finally coming back out of your like hibernation cycle or your hermit mode. Yeah, but it's like finally coming out of your comfort zone. Okay, so hermit. So you learn what you had to learn in solitude, and finally you're coming out of your comfort zone, because even the hermit, first it's like all dark and gloomy, and it's like, oh, I feel kind of lonely, or it's kind of like dark out here, right? You know, sometimes we're forced into those periods of solitude to go through our spiritual initiations, but once we find the light, we get out of that. And so this is what I'm seeing here in the transition of the cards. It's like you found what you needed, you found your light, okay? You got what you needed, and now there's some kind of like coming together and some kind of reunions. Again, I don't know if it's because of the holidays. I don't know exactly what's going on specifically in your energy, but I do see more energies coming in to play with you. So yes, getting out of your comfort zone. So from the Hermit, you found what you needed, you've gotten it, and you extracted the essence of whatever that lesson was for you. Now you're getting out of your comfort zone and you're putting in the work, all right, into whatever this is. It's like, now that you understand how energy works, specifically how to get back what you put in, how to invest your energy properly. Again, we only have a certain amount of energy every single day, a certain amount of hours every single day. We have to invest that properly. Again, do we want that to dissipate? Do we want that to come back negatively? Again, good or bad is relative, but there is positive and negative, right? So yeah, so it's like, now that you understand how energy works, this is being very deliberate, very aware how energy works. And again, this is also a Pentacles card, 6 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles. So now that you understand how energy works and what specifically to invest in, what avenues, what's going to bring more back to you. If you support somebody else, if you give to them, if you show support, you know that's going to come back to you. Again, so you do it genuinely. You do it out of a place of love, still understanding how energy works, still being very deliberate and very strategic in how to work that, if that makes sense. So yes, there's some kind of enlightenment coming into what exactly to invest your energy to that's going to bring you the return that you seek. Okay? Not just throwing energy everywhere, not just sending something positive this way and something negative this way that is just going to cancel it out. Or one desire might be stronger than the other. And so one might pull you in one direction and completely shift you at the end of the day. So it's like being very deliberate. What do I invest my energy into? Does this resonate? No? Okay, simply going to extract my energy from that and I'm going to invest it somewhere where it does, instead of perpetuating that cycle. So there's some kind of aha moment, some kind of enlightenment to where you finally understand where it is specifically that you have to work and invest your energy to get the returns that you seek. Okay, so that's going to lead you into making a very definitive choice. The Lovers. You're making a choice about what specifically that is going to be for you. All right. As you can see here, out of all the tools and ingredients she has, it's like she knows that the candle, again, and this is metaphoric, is the thing that she needs to focus on to get exactly the return that she wants. All right. If she wants this, there's something very specific she needs to focus on, all right? Because doing the work can be many things, many different things to many people, right? But proving where it is that you get a return for your work, for your value, for your worthiness, for the things that you bring to the table, it's like, then once I find what that is, I'm going to focus completely on that and make a decision to stick to it, because this is where the return's going to come in. And so that's going to lead to your wish fulfillment. All right, from having all these options and all this undecisiveness, again, bats, snakes, ladders, fogginess, making it all confusing. It's like you finally made a decision, you finally honed in on what that was, you finally narrowed it down, and you're focusing specifically on that thing that's going to bring you this return and this kind of abundance. Okay, and so that's going to lead to your happiness, the Sun. Okay, not only to your emotional fulfillment, but to your happiness, and you're getting out of this kind of like, it's like your energy going to so many different things, all right? Being unfocused, like focusing sometimes on the right things and sometimes on things that don't really give you back, and sometimes on things that cancel out, and sometimes on things that pull you in the opposite direction of what you want. It's like getting out of that energy. Look how foggy it is. Look how many different cups there is here that you're kind of dipping your energy to. You're finally getting out of that. And so this leads you to making the decision, coming into your wish fulfillment, and coming into the happiest card in the deck. Why is it the happiest card? Because finally you're seeing that what you're investing into is giving returns that you want. Okay? Happiness comes from progress. All right? And not just progress, like random progress, because you could progress in the opposite direction of what you want. No, you want to progress into the direction that you want. And that's what the focus and making the decision and seeing things clearly is going to bring for you. Again, because this energy is really tricky. Okay? This is having your hand in too many pots, yeah, or however the saying goes. But you get what I'm saying. And so it's in the reverse. So you're getting out of that. And now your actions, your intentions, your energy is very, very deliberate, very focused. And so I asked Spirit, what is the advice for this reading? And so yes, Queen of Swords, being very strategic, very aware, very clear-minded how things work and how to operate. Okay? Crystal clear on how you want to go about things and how you want to see results. Okay? Not just shelling it all out there and not seeing results. It's like, if you see that, retract your energy and put it in a place where it's going to bring back, your returns. Okay? Because some things that we even invest into, it's like the energy can just dissipate. It's not reciprocated. So it's like, okay, being very clear. What are those things? What are the things I have to cut out? She has a really big sword here. What are the things I have to cut out? And what are the things that I have to redirect my energy to? For the wheel to finally turn in my advantage. Because you have the wheel here. Okay? 10. So number 10. Okay? Completion of an old cycle. And then once that completion is done, 1 plus 0 is 1. New beginning. Boom. So there you go. There you go. So you're getting very clear and very strategic about what this is for you. So final outcome card, you're getting out of this confusion of like 2 of swords of like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm exhausted because I am investing my energy, but the things that I want are not coming in. And it's like this mental energy of like, what's going on? I can't see clearly. There's all this mental noise. I'm confused. To the 4 of Wands. Why do you think they're celebrating? Because there's a reason to celebrate. They're seeing the returns in their actions. They're seeing the returns in their energy and their investments. And that's why they celebrate. So this is the final outcome card for this reading, Pisces. This is all I have. Take care.